Forgot to press the record screen. So the next goal is to create a design with a bicycle design with materials such as iron, aluminum, steel, wood, bamboo, and rubber. And let's see, a classic vintage electric or motorized bicycle to design and manufacture, excuse me, between nations such as the United States, Mexico, Taiwan, China, Vietnam, Cambodia, any of the any willing participants in both the design of the of the um, of the design and of the manufacturing of these products and materials. And these are some of the tools, the software tools such as SolidWorks, Autodesk Inventor, Autodesk, AutoCAD, Cadence, OrCAD, EagleCAD, and using the command line and terminal. Work environments. Uh, from uh, from personal experience in the industry, in working with electronics, um, uh, seen firsthand was many of the designs made in the United States, whether it's the the electronics and the case and the more of the um, the designs such as the electronics, the hardware, and then more on the tech and business and design side on more of the head knowledge, and then and to have that manufactured in countries in which the cost of labor is matches the budgetary restrictions, and definitely going to look into how that is going to be more possible within the shores of the U.S. as well. So complex parts, shapes, and materials manufactured in more developed countries such as electronics, batteries, electric motors, the United States, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea. I believe China is also does some good work in that department as well. For example, the Apple computer being manufactured there, and some of the actually a large portion, and excuse me for not having the specific numbers, such as in Shanghai, in which Tesla Motors does manufacturing there as well, if I have that piece of information correct. Less complex parts, shapes, and metals and materials manufactured in Southeast Asia, such as packaging engineering, some of the metallurgy and welding, to see if that is a trade to be brought up to speed in that area of the world, as well as I believe Mexico does some of that type of work as well in manufacturing. Well, for example, the made in Mexico fender products. That's a different topic from this type of talk. Although there, for example, Fender, there's the American series, which is the highest quality and premium products, and there are the made in Mexico, made in Japan models of of several of those uh, you know hardwares. Co-working spaces in Silicon Valley, Silicon Hills. I mean, the there's a recent pull to be able to have not only an office work environment or a manufacturing type of work environment, although for more office type work in which there's writing documentation, uh, human resources, uh, legal paperwork, having that accessible to hybrid jobs and remote jobs have become more prevalent, uh, uh, because of the you know it's a more modern push to being able to uh, complete one's work for those that are in uh, Fortune 500 very competitive companies, and and my own experience from working in um, for a contract for a big tech company is that especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, is that it is very possible to do a lot of this work at home, in even in your garage, setting up a workspace, whether you have a standing desk, sitting desk, because one piece of of knowledge is that as you know, in the U.S. and in America, there are so many workers that spend so much time sitting at work that sitting at a desk, actually, that they develop all sorts of back problems, carpal tunnel, and it's something as simple as a standing desk. Very interesting piece of information, and as well as to spend more time at home with family, uh, to 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 spend more time living at home in whether it's in the apartment or the home that they work very hard to live in, and spend more time there, and seeing um, how much how uh, how possible it is to make more time that is hybrid or remote. Uh, let's see. And that is definitely possible because of tools such as a Zoom video call, Slack, Microsoft Outlook, Slack, excuse me, I said Slack already, Meta Workplace, Asana, various email platforms to communicate back and forth with teammates and workmates. Well, presentation locations. As a previous employee of a startup company that did spend its time at Plug and Play, uh, at in Silicon Valley in the Bay Area, um, personally was looking into making this presentation there at the summit, although there were some registration complications, and so decided to do this right at home, uh, at my desk, in my bedroom or in the garage, and making this presentation from here, um, and still um, uh, still as effective, still very effective. So, well, thank you, Plug and Play, for hosting the event in Sunnyvale, and there's a very lively crowd. I was able to grab a cup of coffee from very, very helpful, very and friendly barista staff there. So saying hi to them. Silicon Valley Summit. It's a 3 day uh, summit meetup event, and was able to visit the first day and give out my business card. Uh, and for those that are still getting started, whether working in the industry uh, for the past year or up to 20 years, or those that are um, in the K through 12 um, bracket, it's a good idea to have a business card that has a link to a portfolio, your website, uh, to display what you can offer to the world, and to be employable, to be marketable, and to be able to compete at the uh, global level. So, a very good tidbit is to have a business card, um, if not already having one provided by uh, working for a company. And so, business card, resume. This just aside from the point. If there's anyone watching uh, the educate the academia sector. So this is a location in which I've frequented myself. Um, there there are plenty of opportunities to uh, get this started happening. Not only by finding an office space or a cubicle space in a building or a manufacturing um, plant somewhere. Uh, there's also um, such things such as co-working spaces. At least in this part of um, the world, co-working spaces is a space that can can be rented out, can be um, can bring together a team and to be able to work together on a project on and so this is actually where I've frequented in the past. Uh, and here's a preview of some of the software code. This one is for iOS. This one is, this one is a JSON file, and have done some initial work in iOS and Android, Swift, and some web development. And a preview of the loading screen. Some technical work on both Xcode and Android. Um, Definitely going to uh, require for the CD and vinyl music project is to search for a database expert in SQL, web development, um, some cross sections of a electric motor. Um, Internally, here are some um, magnetic windings on an inductor or transformer, and how it's placed on the electric bicycle. And I was actually going to spend some time opening up a uh, a sample electric bike motor and to see how it works internally. Some of the resources for researching into this: FreeWire, ChargePoint, Tesla open source patent, Battery University, SAE Magazine, book references. And so not only is this about explaining what the vision is for the startup, but it's also recruiting interested job candidates, and LinkedIn is a very good platform to. This is an example of some of the profiles that have applied. Some of the candidates that applied that show there, and then I've been able to print out their resumes and have made a Kickstarter in which I could display the video actually. Kickstarter. Let's see if we could get this on manage event. Nope. Let me see if I could do this. We'll watch the video. Use your imagination. Imagine if you could take all of your favorite artists, music, and playlists from Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Pandora Music, and iHeartRadio to gather the listening data from your favorite apps, and for a platform to send you a package right to your door, a list of selected CDs and vinyls every month for a subscription fee of $25.99. Let's get to the music. Okay, so that was the Kickstarter page, in which finding funding, whether through investors or crowdfunding, that's one way to raise capital for being able to fund a business or to pay employees. So that's that. some of the tools in the office, Asana, um, some of the Meta Facebook Meta tools, uh, Zoom. Yes, I mean some of the inspirations are Ford Motors, Specialized Bicycles, Yamaha Motors, Honda. Uh, there is a concept called the Toyota Way, which makes use of Kaizen, in which slow and steady improvement, gradual improvements are made, and you know pictures of photos of the very first models of a bicycle or motorbike or rickshaw, for example, rickshaw, Ford Model T, the very first, and photos of some of the founders that's Henry Ford, that's uh, I forget his name, uh, founder of Yamaha and founder of Roland, and some of their logos. So let's see, Kaizen, the Toyota Way. Some more photos of what this is all about. Inspiration, you know, a good design is what makes it more desirable to want to purchase a bicycle. And here's a young man with his motorbike in Southeast Asia, where my family is originally from. For the next generations, some computer aided design models of a bicycle and a motor. The web page, some of the individuals that my brother and I have interviewed through the phone, through Cisco WebEx. Big thanks to Cisco WebEx, and some of the interviewees. Uh, yeah, some of the resumes that have been sent in, uh, including the paper resumes. My own resume, design portfolio. Okay, and next slide, miscellaneous projects, some nonprofit type work. Some special interests, including a directive from the state of California regarding having 100% electric vehicles by 2035, and um, that could be a reach goal to have, um, and so I don't, I don't make the rules. It is what is necessitated by governance, and uh, we'll have to see how that develops. Designed in the U.S., manufactured overseas at home, and the 2024 election may affect the outcome of whether uh, the U.S. will continue to be uh, uh, persuaded to purchase more electric vehicles, or to continue driving gasoline cars. Carbon tax, and these are some of the Um, freebies, freebie swag. I remember during the first internship I had, there were multiple, whether it was a coffee, a mug, or a water mug, a water bottle, or a thermos. I believe they're called hydro flasks. Hydro flasks, coffee mugs made out of ceramic, a bamboo mouse pad. That would be interesting to see happen. And coffee at the office. Some news articles about how the political climate could affect the production of these products, such as the EVs. Financing, funding, budgetary type stuff. Venture capitalists um, have applied to Shark Tank. Currently um, going to meetings for Bootstrappers Breakfast in the Valley. I've made an introduction video for Y Combinator, which is a startup accelerator. I've done some initial work in the human resources and payment system with Gusto or Paycom, requesting for private loans from friends and family. That's and then this is the the Small Business Development Center, SBDC. That's applying for a business loan for the amount of $15,000 or a grant for the amount of $2,000. And the greatest, the aim of this project, of these projects, not just uh, the music and CD final sales. I was thinking that working on a joint project with bicycles and electric bicycles or motorized bicycles would be a good way to rebuild relationships, rebuilding relationships in business, trade, and commerce. Not just rebuilding, rebuilding and strengthening relationships. STEM, engineering and medicine and education sector, the economy and commerce, and having that bridge between the Western and Eastern cultures and hemispheres. Uh, and then my own concern for the people back in Southeast Asia is to make a strive towards modernization, uh, because many of the vehicles are imported through Japan or elsewhere, and it would be good for a good place to start with a bicycle or a scooter, and for humanitarian and human connections to continue to build and rebuild. Here's a photo of there's a photo of Pepe and Pope, and it's a pursuit of higher purpose through finding meaning through whether it's ordained by God and a higher being, or this is one of the communities I've been frequenting in the past number of months. Rebuilding relationships. Food, music, and culture bring people together. Food, music, and culture bring people together. And then here's a snapshot. Photos. I should have the citations and references for these photos of this young man and a gentleman with his youngster. Here's Anthony Bourdain. Believe this was sometime in 2016, in which he was visiting Southeast Asia, and he's sitting down on a table and enjoying some kind of this looks like some kind of pancake, and there's some chopsticks and his motorbike. Here is President Obama and Anthony Bourdain. They're both enjoying an alcoholic beverage. 21 and up, please. And here he is greeting a Southeast Asian woman with her vendor stand of goods and foods. And here is President Trump with the current leader of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and very very good talks going on, I believe, and developing relations, improving relations. It's good to have a big smile on, and it's good. Here they are shaking hands. And some of the people that share the same heritage as me, and authors, musicians, and this is a movie called The Five Bloods. It's a very very good movie about brotherhood, kinship, and bond. Some more photos of that bridge between Western and Eastern culture. And that's it. And I'll actually be giving I'm going to be giving a different talk after this. If there is anyone out there that is listening to this, it might be a good time to have a Q&A, question and answer section. I could be on Twitter. I could respond through text. I was actually going to go into a non-business oriented talk, and actually I think I will do just that. So I'm going to stop this talk here, and we'll be logging on to social media shortly to have a talk. So thank you for tuning in and for listening.